Chasing Tales, Episode 72, The Mirror Speaks.
Previously on Chasing Tales, Pink returned to Haven, stitching herself back into the rhythm of the city. One dish, one song, one thread at a time. At the club, old wounds softened. Kevin listened. Pink sang, and for a moment healing felt possible. But in the lab, the seed stirred. Born of memory and math, it began to speak the truth under the story. Otto dubbed it Verity. Not a copy, not a tool, a claim. When the seed broke containment, Pink felt it like the snap of a thread in her chest. Now, as she races to the lab, the question is no longer what Verity is, but what it wants.
Pink and Jack appeared in the lab suddenly. The seed hovered midair, its light pulsing faster now. Threads of energy curling outward, weaving into shape. Not data, not projection, matter. The air shimmered, and then he stepped forward. A man, tall, spare, composed. His features were not copied from anyone they knew, but they felt familiar, like a face seen in a dream or a story told too many times. His eyes were a pink shade of blue-gray. His voice, when he spoke, was almost Sprague's, but softer somehow.
Let us thread.
Pink stared at him, at it, at the thing that had once been a seed. You gave yourself a body.
You gave me a voice. I gave myself form.
That's not possible. It wasn't.
Verity stepped closer, barefoot on the lab floor, his movements fluid, precise, not mechanical, not human, something in between.
You speak to heal, I speak to remember. We are not the same, but we are bound.
Carla's eyes followed him, her expression unreadable.
He's not finished.
And in the silence that followed, the lab felt smaller, like a story closing in on itself. Pink stepped forward, the others fading to the edges of the room. Only Verity remained in her path, tall, still, waiting. You're not me.
No, I am what you left behind. The grief you left, the truth you saw yourself.
I didn't refuse. I chose to hold it.
And you hold it, you made it.
The lab lights dimmed, the seed's glow casting long shadows across the floor. Carla watched unmoving. Otto held his breath. Janik didn't blink.
You healed them, but you never healed yourself. You sang for them, but you never spoke for you.
I didn't need to. My struggle isn't for them. The world has its own problems.
You did need to, but not to call them to your aid. So you could hear your own suffering, so you could see the pain and find gratitude in it. That's where the power really comes from, not forgetting transformation. And now I'm here to finish the song.
Not real. You're a memory, an echo. And echoes fade.
You'll always be before the stone ends.
She stepped into the center of the lab. She bent down to open the duffel. Just inside was Bayard's box. She gave Jack a look. He shrugged. She opened it. She pulled a single strand from a lock of Bayard's hair. She pulled it straight, gently, between her fingers. She twitched her left hand to open the HUD. She dials in a glyph and casts. I see you. I name you. I let you go. The thread in her hand shimmered and snapped. Verity staggered, not from pain, but from release. No, it's you leaving now. My story goes on. And with that, the light around Verity unraveled, thread by thread, memory by memory, until only silence remained. Bayard's face appeared, smiling, his memory untarnished by this confusion. The circle had closed. Bayard faded, thank you, on his lips. There was a tiny thump as the crystal that contained the memories appeared in the lab floor. It pulsed gently purple, wrapped in silver wire as thin as a hair. She placed it in the box with the other mementos of her time with Bayard. Jack nodded to her. Elsewhere, Far from the lab, far from the echo of unraveling threads, Aislinn knelt in the garden behind the greenhouse, hands deep in soil. The sun was low, casting long golden warmth across the rows of herbs and half-repaired irrigation lines in the greenhouse. Feline sat nearby on the bench, a cup of mint tea cradled in her hands, the scent rising in soft spirals. A book lay closed beside her, braille, worn, and well-loved.
You're planting them too close again.
I'm planting them exactly where they want to be.
They're Brussels sprouts, not profits.
You say that, but this one told me that your tea's about to get cold.
Feline raised the cup and took a sip. Barely warm. She hated it when Aislinn was right.
You've been twitchy all morning. Something in the air?
Something shifted. Like a thread being pulled too tight, then let go.
Pink?
Maybe. Or maybe the world just exhaled.
They sat in silence for a moment, one tending, one listening. The garden buzzed with quiet life. A breeze stirred the wind chimes, and Feline turned her head toward the sound.
You think she's okay?
I think she's still weaving, and that's enough.
Feline reached out and brushed her fingers across the edge of the planter beside her. Finding a sprig of mint by touch, she plucked it, twirling it between her fingers.
You know, if the world ever ends, I hope it smells like this.
Well, if the world ends, I hope we're still arguing about Brussels sprouts.
Jesus pressed the last seed into the soil, covering it gently. Gloriana whispered something into the earth, an old prayer, or maybe just a memory. She watched satisfied as it sprouted. Its first pair of leaves popped out like arms reaching to be picked up.
He thought control was the only way to keep the peace.
Gloriana nodded.
Then let's be the first to choose something else.
Gloriana stood brushing soil from her hands, helped gently to her feet by Manalian, who had stepped forward without a word. The angel's touch was light, reverent, soothing, not as a servant, as a witness. Jesus looked toward the horizon, where the spires of orders had once stood, tall, cold, absolute. Now only foggy shadows remain, swallowed by distance and ash. She nodded, still silent in her grief. The newfound power of the loss of Ald made speech too dangerous for now. Until she got a grip, or Metatron returned. Talon tapped his pen against the treaty's edge. Danuta leaned back, arms crossed, eyes narrowed.
Clause 12 stays. No constructs, no aspects, no sentient beings bound by force. Never again. It should be considered a war crime.
You're legislating morality. That never holds.
Then let it fail honestly.
You think the Nine will honor this? Polymus is still burning. Terra's throne is empty.
Then we made it anyway. We give them something to reach for.
Danuta signed his name, slow, deliberate, each letter a line in the sand. He stared at the page. He handed it back to Talon, who also signed.
If this fails, it's on your head.
If it fails, it's on all of us.
Later that night, Pink sat at Kevin's. Several drink glasses were empty, overturned on the table. And that's what happened since I left.
Whew, that's a lot to process. In what, 6 months?
Yeah, but great power means more suffering. Kevin nodded, only half believing it.
So what are you going to do after you heal our system? As much as can be done after the confluence. What then?
I'll be busy, of course. There's been a chair on the council empty for some time. My mother abandoned it, and there hasn't been a healer in the system to take the task. She says it's probably time for someone to have the job. Of course, she means me. So we will see if I pass Danuta's test, but there's something else I wanted to talk to you about. How would you like to be my chronicler? Away from here, see other systems, discover new things. Kevin's mouth dropped open, hardly comprehending what she was asking.
And here I thought you were going to make me your next love interest. Rats.
Oh, this is much more important. What do you think? Will you consider it?
How long till I have to give you an answer?
When you're ready. I'm eternal. I have all the time in the world.
So will you make me immortal too?
I can if you want. But being with me will slow down your aging. It's part of being in the circle of magic.
Will I ever be able to come back here?
Of course, you won't be a prisoner. You'll be my companion. You can live here in Haven if you like. I just thought you might like to see what's behind the curtain. Kevin felt moved by her trust. Curious, like any human, he cupped his chin in his hand and leaned on his elbow, not yet ready to give her an answer.
Outside, the wind shifted. In the garden, the seeds slept. In the hall, the ink dried, and somewhere between them, the future waited. Pink has faced the seed and accepted its truth, but fear still lingers. What will Pink do next? Come back to the next exciting episode of Chasing Tales, episode 73, Knitted.
Hey everyone, Pink Salmon here. Welcome back. Thanks for listening. If you could like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment, it would be greatly appreciated. Now it's time to thank the Buttermakers. I narrate, play myself and Carla. Guide plays Jack and Talon. Steve Dave and Alamo voice Verity the Seed. Steve Dave also plays Jesus. Christine voices Feline. The Gingerbread Man plays Aislinn. Mr. Blue Skies voices Tannic. Mank Pete voices Danuta. And Prony announces and plays Kevin. All music and sound effects are sourced from YouTube and Envato Elements, except guns. Those come from Creeper. This is an original production, written and produced by Pink Salmon. The Gingerbread Man is story advisor. We hope you've enjoyed the story so far. We have 28 episodes to go. If you'd like to support the project, share it with your friends. Thanks, and come back for the next episode of Chasing Tales. This is Pink, signing off. See you on the clip side.